This is the most vicious old couple I have ever seen. They gouged out the girl's eyes, and they cut off their ears, and I sewed them up really tightly. Ended up taxidermy the girl, then put him in the coffin, cover the rock. The girl is going to sleep in this cramped space. What did the girl do wrong? Since you two couples over 50 years old are so cruel, it's a bit scary. Timid friends must like and follow slowly. Look at this girl. She's beautiful. She had a severe neurological condition. Always uncontrolled flowers. Something weird. Little noise will make her feel on pins and needles. In severe cases, there are also some hallucinations. He's been getting worse lately. Some time ago, he had some bad things happen with his boyfriend. He can't remember it anyway. This thing has been tormenting him in his heart. He couldn't let go for a long time. He overheard his parents talking that day, said to send him to a psychiatric hospital for treatment. The scared big beauty takes advantage of the night, hastily pack up and run away. Then I plan to stay at the homestay. He was greeted by an amiable old couple. The villa is clean and warm. Pretty soon, she settled down. Then a man suddenly came up to greet him. Turns out that he is as beautiful as Dame, also a tenant here. Two chatted very speculatively. All this makes the original nervous. He relaxed. Big beauty of the rest suddenly heard a crunch. He sat up. I want to know where the sound is coming from. And the sound suddenly disappeared. Thought it was all his own hallucination. Not thinking too much. The sound comes again. Just then, the landlady invited him downstairs for dinner. Atmosphere in the restaurant is warm. Dame is always restless. Suddenly, there was movement under the floor. The landlady immediately wrapped him up and took him away, and explained that I don't know what happened recently. Occasionally, this bug appears, but Dame was panicked inside. The man saw that he was uneasy and chatted with him for a while. I also asked him to have coffee with me tomorrow. Back in the room, the big beauty put on the earphones and fell asleep, but something weird still happened. Late at night, he felt like he was being crushed by a ghost, conscious but unable to move. Then I vaguely saw the man went towards him. Suddenly, he was used again. The black garbage bag was taken away with the head covered. Then the landlord took out a ruler. I measured his height. The next day, it was beautiful and everything was calm. I thought it was just a dream I had. He came to the cafe as scheduled, but the man never appeared. Like it just disappeared. He was forced to flee back to the villa. The landlady saw his frightened expression, went up to console. The beautiful mood slowly calmed down. The man is texting. Explained that I missed my appointment today because I overslept. Asked him if he would continue to live here. Great beauty wanted to leave. This place makes him uncomfortable. Looks nice. The landlord greeted him warmly. I don't think those are. Maybe it's the nightmare he had last night. He decided to stay for a few more days. Late at night, he sat on the bed and painted. Suddenly, I heard a sound from inside the wall, and he goes up to it. This time, he couldn't hold back his curiosity and lifted the wallpaper. He was scared out of the third emoji on his phone. To make sure it's not my hallucination, he mustered up the courage to open it again, and it's pitch black, and you can't see anything. He took his phone and took a picture inside. Scared him. Those who are not dead are still asking for help. Horrified big beauty thought, escape this dreadful place immediately. Unfortunately, the house leak happened to rain overnight. Then the landlady knocked on the door. Panicked, he hurried to Sugar Color. He immediately picked up his phone and texted the man for help. But what Dame doesn't know is, it was the landlady who replied to him. I didn't know the man had already received the lunchbox. The landlord who has been waiting for a long time. The big beauty knocked him out with a stick and took the opportunity to escape, but all the windows are tightly locked. The old landlord also came up from downstairs. He has no way to escape. We can only continue to search for the next exit. Fortunately, we found a wooden door. There seems to be ventilation in the back. He got in without hesitation. There's a bunch of dead people in there. They all stretched out their hands to grab the big jump. After some tearing, he finally escaped. Unfortunately, he was caught by the landlord and his wife again. Immediately give him a dose of good medicine. Wait until he wakes up again. Found myself tied up and unable to move. While they prepare surgical tools for Dame, I told him my story. Turns out he used to be a nurse because of research activities in the underground organization behind the back of the hospital. Dead man expelled from hospital. In desperation, they turned their home into a homestay. The walls are filled with their carefully cared for guests. Those people can't bear to grow old alone. So they came here and they asked us to help them. The old lady said, a suitable coffin has been customized for Dame, right next to the man. Then the old lady took out a needle. He injected Dame with trance water just as he picked up the scalpel and was about to start. And then the doorbell rang. It's the tall guy. He is also the father of a beautiful boyfriend. His son somehow got a box lunch at college. Came here looking for Dame. Ask him what happened to his son. He hasn't had time to ask. It was solved by the old man. The other side. Trance water on Dame's body slowly fails. He clambered towards the window. With all his might, he escaped through the window. Fleeing, he got into a car. See the old man coming this way. Ducked behind the car. They put the tall body in the passenger seat and drive the car to the edge of the cliff. Fake the scene as an accident. That's all. Pretty and Tall fell off a cliff together. But surprisingly, Xiaomei didn't die. Turns out that he has always liked and followed the video. So he was very lucky. After being discharged from the hospital, he recalled his past with his boyfriend. Boyfriend really loves him very much. It's because he's sick. Talking to him on the phone, Xiaomei was angry and said to let her boyfriend jump off the building. Unexpectedly, my boyfriend really jumped and fell to his death. Because of this, Xiaomei has never been able to forgive herself. He finally chose to go back to that terrifying homestay again.